I say today that if we pass TPA, we won't have free trade, but with currency manipulation, because of currency manipulation, we will have fixed trade. Not free trade, fixed trade. A fixed game, and the fix will be in. I believe in free trade. Free trade without free float currency is not free trade. It is fixed trade. And I frankly think that the rhetoric we used is very inaccurate and does our world-class companies a disservice. In 1987, I went to work at a muffler factory, 30 or so miles down from my dad's small place in southern Indiana. And I learned lots of things inside those four walls welding mufflers. First, I started a career in automotive parts, and I never imagined to end up here. But first of all, I learned respect. Respect for American manufacturing companies. Do any of us think we can be great again without manufacturing in our country? I learned respect for the American worker. I learned respect for American industry. And I learned that labor and management, we kind of wanted the same things. We wanted a safe place to work, opportunity to make a little money, fairness. And most of all, we all wanted the same thing for our kids. Go to school, have a good life. This is not a divided territory in my view. But too often, over the years in my career, as I built my career in automotive supply, I saw world-class plants, world-class factories, not yesterday's factories, not yesterday's management, world-class management, close their plants, downsize, and lay off workers. I firsthand, up close and personal, experienced the hollowing out of middle America and the hollowing out of the American middle class, not because they weren't competitive, but because the other guys weren't willing to play by the rules. I saw pain in the eyes of the folks that we laid off and the plants I visited or I managed myself, of careers and dreams lost. I saw the grocery stores close by close up. I saw the barber shops close. And I saw the local public schools suffer due to the lack of revenue because the local industry went away. In short, I saw community devastation, rural and urban, white and black, male and female, all impacted by these harsh global realities due to currency manipulation. During so many of these closures, y'all, I often ask myself, is this fair? Are these closures and these job losses good-paying American jobs? Is that fair? And I came to the following conclusions as a young man, days long gone by. If these closures were happening because of a lack of competitiveness or because some other country's comparable advantage on a level playing field, then okay. Then okay. I don't like it, but I swallow hard and I accept it. But if these closures that impact the families of millions of Americans are caused by the artificial advantage of currency exchange, and we don't even debate it on the floor of this house, the people's house, then that's not right. That ain't right. And I can never accept it. Because even if there's jobs created in other parts of this economy, because we all buy goods at a lower price from outside, what about the millions that lost their jobs because of the artificial and therefore unfair edge created by currency manipulation? And that I can't accept and I won't accept. And that's why I'm here today. I think that if those words make me a protectionist, then we have a very skewed definition of the word protectionist. I'm not a protectionist at all. In fact, I demand that the others play by the rules of free trade. That doesn't make me a protectionist. I've heard a lot of the figures today in the Rules Committee and in the debates in general about why TPA is good. in my own party, we've come out with 218 reasons why TPA is good. Give me 2 days, and I'll give you 218 reasons why it's not. I'll list every one of those closed plants, 218 of them that were world-class. Well, let me give you a few others. First, free trade is an illusion without free-floating currencies. No floating currency means no free trade, which is what we have today, fixed trade. Second, the U.S. GDP is $16.8 trillion. Y'all, that is 23% of the nominal global GDP. Does our leadership think that at 23% of the global GDP, we can't get in a trade deal if we miss TPA train? Give me a break. At 23% of the global GDP, we can get into any deal we want to be in. The sky is not falling if we miss the TPA movement. Third, eliminating currency manipulation would reduce trade deficit by $200 to $500 billion yearly and put $300 to $700 billion additional onto the GDP. I think the gentlelady mentioned this earlier. This makes it too important to be in the customs bill. It should be the first thing we talk about. And we're going to slide it into the customs bill? Come on, y'all. Fourth, some members of the Congress and some conservative outside groups call my amendment and my colleague's amendment protectionist. So let me see if I get this right. Because I'm asking our trade partners not to be protectionist, that makes me a protectionist. Is that the kettle calling the pot black or what? Paul Volcker said, trade is more affected by 10 minutes of movements and exchange rates than 10 years of trade negotiations. And y'all, the U.S. trade deficit in 2014 was $524 billion. My office estimations is that's at least 1 million jobs. And sixth, my amendment does not take away any country's sovereign ability to conduct monetary or fiscal policy. Give me a break on that one. If that's not a wild exaggeration, I don't know what is. Give me a break. All we're saying for is an even trade on, or a square playing field on currency. I never imagined myself in the People's House as I spent years of my life making mufflers, spark plugs, filters, shock absorbers. But for whatever serendipity, I'm here now. And sometimes when I travel back and forth from Washington to my district or through other districts, I see some of those people that we laid off or that were laid off by other companies. And they're working at CVS or a retail environment, or they're working for the TSA. I bump into them all the time. Mr. Clawson, any chance that plant's going to open back up? We're having a hard time making ends meet. I'm having a hard time paying for my kids' college. Any chance the plant's going to open back up? And it was a world-class plant that closed in the first place. Now I say let's give the American worker and American company a chance. And I'm asking this committee, no matter what your instructions are, give us a chance. If this isn't important enough to talk to on the floor of the House of Representatives with millions of good-paying jobs in the balance, then what are we doing? I'm asking all of your influence, all your faith, all your emotion, to at least let us have the debate before we vote on this to the general population of the House of Representatives. Mr. Sessions, I appreciate you letting me talk and wind on and on. As you can tell, this is a topic dear to my heart. These are people that have meant something to me. I spent a lifetime with these people. I'm saying let these people have a voice. And I'm asking you to do everything you can to let those folks that are unfairly impacted by this to have a voice through us, through a debate on the House floor. Thank you. I yield back.